easygoing and the love for Annie Lowe.
I want to say something off the top, maybe a little controversial, may come as a surprise to some of you, but I am a transgender woman, and yeah, I know, yeah, that's right. The amazing thing about that is the response is usually claps and not surprise. I don't think I've ever... Which is fine, it's fine, you know, like... I'm proud to be a transgender woman, but I will tell you that I've never once been like, yeah, I'm transgender, and they were like, you shut the fuck up. Are you? What? Is that computer graphics? How are you even? I've been taking these hormone pills, and they've been doing. I'm telling you, they've been doing a lot. I mean, they've been doing a whole lot. You know. Mentally, physically, it's yeah, oh yeah, it's outstanding, and yeah, I have a dream with these things. I know it may be a long way off, but I can be patient for it. It's beautiful. It's that one of these days, the angry people outside the Planned Parenthood are yelling at me because they think I'm getting an abortion. And not lady pills. I can picture it now. It's just like, murderer! Thank you! That is... I will take one of your little pamphlets. I think... What's your name, Greg? When I got my COVID shot, at the Walgreens, plug. I have seen the people that give me my antidepressants more than my dearest friends and family for longer than I care to tell you. But when I was getting my COVID shot and they were going through the list of side effects, it's like, are you allergic to any medication? Do your parents fall down a lot? I can't remember. I can't remember a lot of the questions. But the guy looked me right in my eye and he asked me, "Is there a chance you might be pregnant?" And I said, "No, but you're really sweet to ask." I'm not deluding myself. I know that in that moment I was just getting particularly good customer service, and I've worked in the service industry. I recognize, you know what I mean? Brian, keep doing what you're doing. You made my day. Thanks for sorting me out on my rewards points. I didn't have to... I've been told that I'm brave. A lot of people tell me that I am so brave. So a weird thing about being told you're brave all the time, which again, it takes a little chutzpah to be like, hey, you know what? I'm a woman. It's fun. It's true. You don't have to. Wait, you can clap. Hang on. But there. I have little pauses built into some of these jokes for ally claps that are just like. It's great. I have a leg up on some other comedians in that regard. I will say a weird thing about being told you're brave. Like, imagine you're like an astronaut and you're getting ready to go on a space mission, and it's kind of an unusual space mission. Don't really know what's going to happen. And people come up to you and they're like, you know what? You are so brave. And I just want to say I really appreciate what you're doing. At first, you might take it to heart and be like, hey, I worked really hard to be an astronaut. But after a week or two of that, you'd be like, fuck, dude, I'm going to die in space. So, you know, but you still got to go out there. And I feel like one of the places where I really had to be the most courageous, especially early on, was the grocery store, because it's a really existential moment. I mean, everybody, no matter who you are in this crazy world, you need groceries. Yeah, you might be out of celery, you might be out of stuff to wipe your butt, you know. Do you have a cat? That's aisle 7. Like, it's all... We're all there, and I need groceries, and I'll go out there, and I'm just out there with the other people, and it's very brightly lit, you know. I'd be like, you know what, you got this, it's no big deal, who even fucking cares, just living your best life. Most people are super into it. You're a brave person. So I... and I, you know, and I go in, and I know all of you know the feeling, like when someone's staring at you, like when you're driving on the highway and you're just staring at the people next to you with that thing that makes them go. And you were like, that person could not have possibly seen me. Like, you know that. And I look over, and there are like the cashiers at these 2 aisles are just like, I mean, just like they're not even moving their head, just like following me with their eyes, kind of thing. And they have a look that I will say was a little judgmental. So I'm like, well, here's where the rubber meets the road. And I put my shoulders back, and I went around, and I bought groceries that are actually nicer and healthier than the groceries I normally buy, because trans excellence, I'm gonna. And as I'm kind of like bopping around the end caps, I'll check in every now and then, and I'll still, you know, I even made eye contact a couple times, and it was like, fuck. And I'm not made out of money. At some point in time, I had to stop shopping. So I went to the register, and while this person is definitely avoiding eye contact with me and kind of beeping my groceries through, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable, so I'm just sort of spacing out, looking around, and I see this thing on the floor by the entrance to the grocery store, and it's. Have you ever been doing whatever it is you do till about 2 a.m, and then you just take your pants off, and then you just go to bed, and maybe because I'm not going to be judgmental, but perhaps in my case, some of the stuff in your life isn't right. And you just put the same pants back on and just scoot out the door the next day. And maybe the underwear from the day before is still in the pants. And over the course of the day, it just kind of scoots down your leg, and then... You never know when that thing's gonna pop out. Might be at the entrance of a Food Lion in Graham. I can tell you from experience, you never know. And I'm looking at my own underwear. And I go to pay, and the cashier has noticed that I was looking at my own underwear. So we both know now. And I'm just like, what do you do? So I paid for my stuff, and then on the way out, I just kind of... you know. I put it in my purse, and then after that, I said thank you. After that, because I wanted, you know what I mean? I'm not ashamed. But But on the long walk back to the car, I had to deal with the fact that I would not say that was prejudice that I was dealing with in there. I felt like those people correctly judged me based on the content of my character. I was working at a job once, and one of my coworkers, over a cigarette break, he told me that his younger brother is a juggalo rapper. Yeah, I don't. If you're not familiar, juggalos are fans of a music group. They do horror rap, and their thing is they're two psychotic clowns that are always in grease paint. If you're not freaked out yet, all of their fans are also in clown grease paint. If you go to one of their shows, and maybe you haven't been to one before, you might be the only person not with angry clown makeup on. I should have given a trigger warning at the beginning of that. So, these are all the feelings that I have. Because I feel like clowns, kind of like I feel like spiders, you know what I mean? Like, they're fine, live and let live, but I don't want them necessarily close to me. Definitely don't touch me. You know, if I find one in the bathroom, I'm not going to kill it. I'm going to make sure it gets out of the house first, but it cannot stay. But he was telling me about his brother who raps at these things. The concerts aren't even called concerts, they're called gatherings. Because all of these juggalos gather together. It is amazing. And he's like, yeah, he's actually pretty good at it. He headlines some of the shows. It's like the second stage, but he headlines the second stage. For real. He's like, he's making some money. He's made some friends, some really good friends. And it's like, all of a sudden it dawned on me. It's like, this maybe would have been like with someone in the 50s talking about their openly gay brother being like, he's part of a community. I don't understand the community. But he's happy, he's healthy, you know. I don't hang necessarily, but I feel like in my comedy it's important not to punch down. I try to be a good ally to everybody. I try not to punch down, and I feel like I want to address something that was one of the things that made that joke funny, and that's clown phobia. And I'm not trying to be prescriptive, but that might be something that some of the people in the audience need to work on. I know I had to work on it. Underneath that grease paint, they are very much people. If you do not think you have... Do a little thought experiment with me. Let's say you're living on a street, and to the right of you, you have this just absolutely repugnant, loud, we'll say conservative person, and then to the right of you have this absolutely repugnant, loud, liberal person. And no matter how you feel about either of those neighbors, if the for sale sign across the street went down and a family of juggalos moved in, grease paint and all three of you would be like, there goes the fucking neighborhood. What do you even know about these people? Do you know it's maybe Linda Juggalo comes by a couple days later with like a bunt cake they made, offers to like pick up your mail, water your plants while you're out of town. Find out Greg Juggalo, he drives an Uber because it's tough to get a job when you're a Juggalo because of the way people feel. About this, he was a surgeon in his home country of Florida before he had to flee. If you don't know about the Clown Wars, like, learn your history. There's a thing about me. I feel like people just sense this coming from me, from maybe even 12 feet away before I even say a word to them. They just know that I was a techno DJ in the late 90s. It's... I can't even lie about it. It's obvious. Part of it's the affect. I think part of it is just the weary look in my face. But I think a lot of it are the tattoos. It's sort of I have the tattoos of like an OG Smash Mouth fan. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about one of your Smash Mouth Johnny Come Latelys. I was there. This tattoo in Chinese, regrettably, does not mean anything. It's... When I got it, I didn't know anybody who spoke Chinese, including the person who gave it to me, who was an enormous ginger fellow in Winston-Salem with Celtic tattoos up to his hairline. I felt like I didn't ask, that's on me. Innocent enough. As you know, I will say, I will acknowledge, as I came to grow as a person and saw more of this world, I come to find that there are a lot of people that speak Chinese. Like a lot. No matter how many people in this world you think speak Chinese, I guarantee you it's at least a couple more than that. It's pretty bad. This one, it started with just this one. I got the word food tattooed on my arm. Because at the time, the other people in the parking lot of the Smash Mouth shows would be like, I think I'm going to get courage, Last man standing. It's hard for me to live up to stuff like that. I will say one thing that has been consistent from that day to now, as just a matter of integrity, is I've always liked Chinese food, and it's just... Then I went and fucked it up. Maybe it could have been, if I had stopped there, it would have been cute, but I wanted to get some other stuff on the arm, so I was like, put fight on there, so it says food fight. I know. Which is, this happened a year later, which meant I grew not at all as a person. Not one bit. And I'm sure you figured out. I didn't ask if anyone here speaks Mandarin Chinese, but even if you do not, and even if this isn't Mandarin Chinese, I still don't know because I'm still an idiot, but... I mean, look, it's gonna come out anyway. This doesn't mean anything. It says rations to start a war. Which, you'd be like, oh no, you need rations to start a war. It's important. It's a thing you need. That makes sense or whatever. No, the language does not work like that. It's to give you a more exact translation, it would be like rations. To start a war. I will come clean about something. And this is rough. This one's rough. Buckle up, guys. Because I was also kind of into like graffiti stuff. And I had no idea what was coming in my crazy life. I did, thank God it's in crazy letters, but I did get the word king tattooed across my shoulder blades, and I feel like if there were any of my tattoos where I could go back in time and be like, you need to just sleep on this one for just... A lot of people also... assume that I'm some sort of butt plug expert. Also, I just want to throw this in there. This is not really a joke necessarily, but something that's been happening recently. I started working in a glass studio, like just doing some like doodads to pick up money. It's not, I did not go to school. It's desperate for cash. Has a neighbor that's a glass blower. But I tell some people about it, and like several people are like, you should make butt plugs. And I feel like it's been established in the way I talked about it that I'm not an expert glass blower, so I must be a butt plug expert. I don't know, maybe. I feel like I have a face you can trust when it comes to butt plugs. Whether by the end of this night, everybody in this room is going to buy a butt plug from me. Do the hard sell. For a long time, my mental health has been sort of a full contact sport, we'll say. It's taking a lot of effort. You got to really hold on tight, you know. And as I start to take myself more seriously as a comedian, I feel like I want to start carrying glossy headshots in my car and a Sharpie. Because I don't... Look, I'm not, again, as I said earlier, not made out of money, and this healthcare stuff ain't cheap. So I figure, since I can't leave a little like headshot in a restaurant that's like, you guys have a great Reuben. You know, I could have one, say you walked into a therapist's office and you saw a picture of this winner. And it was just, thanks for making the nightmares go away, Annie. One session, make mine a double. I did manage to get laid over the pandemic. Which is wonderful. I'll tell you, sex is a very... People ask me, what is sex like after taking hormones? And like the only way I can describe it is it's still just me when it happens most of the time. But somehow it's a lot more romantic now. It's... I feel like the most female moment I've ever had in my life was to start masturbating and then stopping because being like, no, I want this to be special. I'm going to do this. This is for later. I didn't know what I was getting into when I was younger. I mean, I got like kind of a reasonable education and like the birds and the bees, but I feel like there was so much more. No one ever taught me about like the bees and the bees, or like a bird and a bunch of bees, bee in a bird suit. I don't know. There's just like, I don't know much about love or animals. But I did have sex over the pandemic, and I hooked up with this person vis-a-vis Tinder, which is, to the uninitiated, a dating application where you put in some of your... Anybody on Tinder? Yeah. Okay, so everybody in this room is married, and that's cool. That's great. I think that's wonderful. We're gonna go around and talk about when you got married and how you met in a little bit. On this application where you describe yourself and then have people judge you immediately and then decide if they would like to have sex almost instantaneously, I tell the truth. I tell the truth in all these things. I feel like there is a lot of room for deception on Tinder, and I feel like there's a lot of things I could deceive about on Tinder, but I put it all out there. I'm like, I'm 40, transgender, my teeth are a little weird, it's fine, you know. The only thing I'm tempted to lie about, but I don't lie about, but I'm tempted to lie about my height. But I don't put a number. Do you know what I mean? Is that like cheating? I don't. Because I'm big. I'm like 6'3". I'm like, and I also photograph with a lot of foreshortening. And like, you know when you see a picture of something and you don't know how big it is, but then they put like a pencil next to it and you go, oh, Jesus, right? Very carefully removed every pencil from the room. I've never... As far as Tinder's concerned, I cannot read or write. It'll never be... When I met this guy, he's not a tall guy. Don't say oh. Don't say oh. He wasn't one of the talls, but I'm telling you, this guy. But he was not a big guy. And he was a little apologetic about it, which kind of put me on my back foot a little bit. I didn't know how to act. He was like, look, I know that a woman wants to be held and feel safe like a baby bird and small. And I'm like, dude. I'm 6'3". If that's what I was looking for, I'd have to find a dating application for like people with like gland problems or like slender men, and Slenders Only, I'm sure. The first time we got together, it wasn't super early in the pandemic, but it was early enough that you were wiping down your groceries and then wash your hands like happy birthday, and then I don't know, put your you get a delivery and you leave it on the ground for a day or two. It's like happy birthday, and then you put your mail in the microwave, happy birthday, whatever. It's like, and I and this guy drove over to my house, and I'm not going to say that he had a mask on in his car, but I will say he washed his hands before getting in the car, then like sanitized his hands after getting in the car, and then he came in my house and we kind of talked for a little bit, and then his face went right into my butt, which I feel like it's a surprise ending after all that hand washing, like... It's like a O. Henry twist at the end. Amazing. I'll tell you, I caught myself bleaching my teeth and the whole of my butt for the first time at the same time. And I had to take a moment and go, Annie, what a milestone. Putting your best foot forward. Bleaching your own anus is a kind of betting on yourself I would have never done in the past. That's not something you do just for you. Do you know what I mean? In the past, I wouldn't have even separated my light and dark laundry, and like, look at me now. So this is a wig. I like this wig. It's not a bad wig, right? Not a bad wig. Yeah. I like to analyze the woo after that, because there's an interesting thing about wearing a wig that I found out. Sometimes when I tell white women that this is a wig, they give me a look that is just like, like, good for you. Kind of, you're doing it. And it's an interesting look to me, because when I will tell perhaps a black person this is a wig, they'll just be like, oh, it's a nice wig. It's just... And what's cool is sometimes even when it's not a nice wig, I know that some of these are not nice. I get a lot of them that are just the same haircut, and one of them, I don't know which one yet, I washed by dunking it in a river and hitting it against a rock once. I will tell you, general PSA. If you're ever looking for a real sassy wig, and you go into a store and it's pretty brightly lit, and there's just like a white woman behind the counter, and she looks like she's got loads of sleep, turn the fuck around and leave, because and I'm not trying to poke fun, but that person is not going to sell you a celebration of hair. They're going to sell you a medical supply, because it is a sad cultural fact that white women don't buy a wig until something terrible has happened, and it's physically or psychologically. I'm counting like being in your late 30s and being like, I'm gonna wear a cotton candy wig and this cramps shirt, because fuck the man, that counts. If you go to a place where there is a sun-bleached ad for extensions on the outside of it, that is your spot. It's a pro tip. They're not going to sell you a medical supply. They're not going to sell you a rubber hand for your head. It's one of the kind of interesting things about gender transition is how absolutely into true crime I got. It's fucked up. I don't know. I feel like the hormones have to have something to do with it. Something very serious changed. It is so different. Well, okay, one on the real political moment. Life is a little bit more dangerous in a skirt. No matter who you are, it's the truth. You know, who ends up in a 50-gallon barrel? It's usually Wow, that got dark really quick. It's been on my mind a lot. I feel like back in my testosterone-laden days, I'm not saying I was super into it, but I'd be like, oh, wow, car chase, or like, there was a standoff, that's crazy. The pit maneuver, or what, I don't know. But the thing that's changed is now I want the drama. Fuck a car chase. The thing that I will watch without blinking is like when the husband is doing a press conference, right? And we all know. But he's got a t-shirt with her face on it, and he's just being like, oh, just give her back, and he's pretending to cry. Are you shit? Like, that is like, I would... If I knew that was going to happen, I would make snacks and invite friends over, There are some of these things. It's true crime and makeup. Has anyone seen these? Where someone's telling a true crime story and they're putting their makeup on at the same time? Yeah. Oh, no, it's amazing. It's like, I mean, like, more than the crowd response might indicate, it's a quickly growing genre. It is. I want to assure you, this premise is real. That people really do this. It'll be 30-minute, hour-long video of someone telling this amazing just narration of this crime and just painting this beautiful just... It's like a fucked up Bob Ross, is what it is. And it's just someone doing this like amazingly elegant painting and talking about some really, really unhappy oil drums that maybe some hikers found. It's just... Okay. All right. I have a friend who... Again, I don't want to get political, but we talk sometimes, and they talk about the problems with policing, and they're like, look, I got to say, all cops are bad. They're terrible. We just need to tear the system down, start over. The way we police, it's just unfixable. But they're also kind of a fan of true crime, which... And I'm not trying to judge or anything like that. But I had to ask, like, what would you even call the genre then? Just like, what happened to Randy? I am gonna say that if you're ever looking at something on the internet and it describes me as an up-and-coming comedian that lit up every room they ever went into, you know I got fucking murdered, because and that's just the sad truth of it, you know. The only thing I can ask of you is that you just like that video and subscribe, because I feel like if that's gonna happen to me, I just, you know, I don't want a fancy funeral. I'd like a nice funeral. I went to a funeral recently. It was a pretty cool funeral. It was an open casket funeral. Nobody had to pay for casket all night long. They didn't even put out a tip jar. It was really classy. I'd like one of those, if you please. On a personal note, my biggest fear, because we're telling the truth up here, is that I get reincarnated as a decorative fern or a ficus tree, because I can't go back to office work. Over the course of your life, you're going to hear this a lot. Perhaps no one in this room has meant it more. I'm turning into my mom. More and more every day. It's the craziest thing. I was hanging out with my mom, Nyla. I love her so much. Shout out. Yeah. And she was making noises about getting a cat. We both love cats. I love cats. I have a friend who's real into like goth and industrial music. And he had a goth cat, and one year for Halloween, he got his cat some contact lenses that made his cat eyes look like little people eyes. So, no, okay. That's not true, but that's animal and human abuse at the same time. That's not okay. But my mom was hesitant to get this cat because she's getting older and cats live a long time, and she didn't want to die and just leave this cat blowing in the wind at the prime of its life, you know. And because I'm a good daughter, you know, I told her, I was like, Mom, we're Egyptian. You can just take that shit with. I'll box it up for you. It is no problem. All right. Thank you guys very much for coming out. This has been a lot of fun. Have a good night.